Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Streams of Income podcast. We are here with Dan Hinz, and I have known him digitally from a membership group we're in together, and we're Facebook friends, but we've never met in person. This is the closest we have been. But I also find that my best friends in the world are ones that don't live near me because, I don't know, I just get along so much better with certain people in other places. And I know Dan's going to be one of them. And so I'm going to let him do an intro about himself, and I think you're going to enjoy this, though, because I've been looking forward to talking to him. So, Dan, go ahead and tell us a little bit about you and like your mission in life, what you're trying to help people do.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for that intro. Yeah, so I'm Dan Hinz, and I have been a YouTube editor for a couple years now. Been a video editor for about 4 or 5 years. The reason I call myself a YouTube editor is because I really do focus on content that is going up onto YouTube. Now, my clients have the video files. They can put those videos wherever they want after I'm done editing them. But the reason I have fallen in love with YouTube is that it's also heavily geared towards storytelling. And so I feel like as an editor, I get to do Hollywood type stuff without having to move to Hollywood or deal with Hollywood. You know, I get to deal with entrepreneurs and creators. And for the most part, my market and the clients that I have are educators. They're trying to help the world be a better place. So I don't have any gaming channels or prank channels. I've got one like travel vlogger, and I help them out every once in a while. But other than that, just trying to help people educate, and usually then they have a business that they're trying to build as well. They're trying to teach the world how to be better, but then they've got a course or a membership or, a service or a product that helps out with that as well. And so I'm here to, just talk more about YouTube, thumbnails and titles and scripting and strategy as best I can, and just try to help as much as I can, try to be an educator myself today.
Yeah. I love that. I've got a podcast running right now, or not literally right now, but listening to Mr. Beast on the School of Greatness, and talking about a lot of the stuff you're talking about. And people love him or hate him. I mean, me and the kids love watching him. But he was talking about how his main goal is, he's getting the numbers. Yeah, he's getting crazy amounts of money. But his main goal is to help people and entertain people. Mm-hmm. And in a good way, and not just the trash that's all over YouTube. So I love that. That's your mission too. So I don't get too distracted. Tell us about the stuff behind you. I'm always fascinated by people's offices and their bookshelves. I see your books are all backwards almost.
Yeah. Yep. I kind of do that just so I can, kind of highlight a couple. This right here over my shoulder, that's actually a puzzle box. Neil Patrick Harris has a company. And so it's like an escape room in a box. And so this is the second version. The first version is right behind it on the shelf. And this book here is called Storyworthy. And it is the best book on storytelling I have ever read. It will
better than StoryBrand.
Oh yeah. 10 times better than StoryBrand. Now StoryBrand is fantastic and I love it. But that's more like how to tell the story of your business in branding. It's very, very high level. This is written by like a storytelling champion. So if you need to get on stage and tell a 5 to 8 minute story and you want it to just blow people's socks off, like that's the book for you. But if you've never read anything about script writing or storytelling, then that's also a great start as well.
You're the second person that's recommended that book.
Oh yeah, I love it. I got turned on to it a couple years ago, and that's how I started to fall in love with storytelling. And then this here is The Blink of an Eye, which is written by Walter Murch, who's a big Hollywood editor. He edited Godfather 2 and has worked with that director, his name just escaped me. Francis Ford Coppola, many times.
So a small resume.
Oh yeah. And so it's just kind of his thoughts on and the art of editing. It's fantastic. And then this book here is Living Untethered, which is, for me and the anxiety that I've dealt with is to help me just kind of like let go of stuff. And it's written by a guy who either was a scientist or just has a very scientific mind. So he just kind of steps through that idea step by step, and it worked for my brain, as opposed to something like A New Earth by, his name escapes me too. Eckhart Tolle.
Okay, yeah.
And so, like, it's Eckhart
it's a
Tolle.
better version of that vibe.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say better for me. It kind of clicked with me better. And then all this other stuff, like, I'm from the Midwest, I'm from Iowa, so we were Chiefs fans growing up and went to Iowa State University, and then this here is a local film festival hat. And then I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, so this is one of so that's one of his hats that I've got there.
Yeah.
And then more actual physical puzzle boxes. So
nice.
That's the tour of my background.
Yeah. Okay. The box thing with Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, because I love talking about multiple streams of income, and I love it when actors like him you realize they're into so many things. Like, we don't all just have to do one thing all of our lives.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So his both of his boxes have been lovely. So if you've ever wanted to do an escape room but don't want to leave the house, like, buy one of those. Buy box 1 and then get box 2, and then it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so let's dig into the YouTube editing. So you do everything from thumbnail all the way to the editing of the video and everything?
Well, I used to. A couple years ago, I tried to become a producer and help with all of those things, but it kind of burned me out. So I'm just an editor now, but when I talk to clients that are looking to hire me, I'm not just like a video editor. I don't do like advertisements for TV. I'm not doing documentaries. I'm not doing wedding videos. Like, I focus on YouTube. I understand like the world of YouTube. So when someone says, "Hey Dan, I need the beginning of our video to match our thumbnail," I already know what they're talking about. I just get it. And so I can kind of talk to my clients and speak that YouTube language. But yeah, it's trying to figure out how to help best fill that post-production need for YouTube creators.
Yeah. Okay. I just finished reading a book a while back. It's on the shelf behind me somewhere. Vincent had recommended it. It was by the guy that had worked on The Chosen and
yeah,
some of like Dr. Squatch, I think. Some of those the viral stuff. Oh, the potty one. The squatty potty.
Yeah, the squatty potty. Yeah.
And it was pretty neat. But I'll be honest with you, the more I got into the book, the more I realized, wow, I need to hire somebody like you instead of trying to figure this out on my own. So how would you kind of answer that? Like, why should people hire you instead of trying to figure it out? Because for me, that's not a passion or a joy for me, trying to figure all that out.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I think if you're looking for like a YouTube producer, that's someone who understands kind of the funnel of YouTube. And really the marketing funnel of YouTube starts at the very top with ideas and strategy. As an editor, so let me back up a little bit. With filmmaking, there's 3 stages. There's pre-production, where your ideas, script writing, all that other stuff. And then you have production, which is you film stuff. And then you have post-production, which is basically editing. And so I'm fully in the post-production, where it's kind of like, once you get to me, I kind of like, you give me what you give me and I'll do the best that I can. But at a certain point, there was a spot where you had the spark of an idea. And especially on YouTube, you want that idea to be fantastic before you make any more progress. And so you have at the top of that funnel, you've got ideation, you've got strategy. And then right after that is what I would call packaging. And that's thumbnails and titles, because on YouTube, you've got those little pictures and you've got the title, and people are scrolling and they're like, do I want to watch this? Do I want to watch that? Do I want to watch this? Do I want to watch that? And if you don't earn their click, they're not watching. So it doesn't matter who you have as an editor. Almost doesn't matter what your idea was. It's like, if you can't get them to click, then it kind of doesn't matter anymore. So you've got the idea that you want to be really good, and then you've got that packaging, like what image and what title am I going to get people to click? And then after that, you've got the hook. You've got the very first 30 seconds of the video, and you basically have to promise people that, yes, this video is what you promised it was going to be in that thumbnail and title, and then whet their appetite, get them curious. Like, yes, I want to spend 20 minutes watching this video, or an hour listening to this interview, or watching the interview. And then after you get that hook, then there's editing. So I help with that hook, the beginning part, assuming you've written it and filmed it and sent it to me. And then I edit the rest and try to keep keep the video moving at a good clip
Yeah.
and to be as engaging as possible.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, that's a learned skill like anything else. Just knowing it's almost as much just feeling the flow as it is pure mechanics.
Yeah. Well, and with editing, I mean, it is filmmaking. And so, Walter Murch here, the Hollywood editor, his suggestion is, well, there are people that ask me, well, like, how fast should I cut? Like, how fast should I change from this camera to that camera? How often should I have things flying in and flying out? And the true answer is you have to decide what emotion you want the audience to feel, and that will help guide your decisions. And Walter Murch says every decision, every cut, the decision is 51% emotion and then 49% a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah. It's actually a list of 6 things. And so it's emotion first. And so that's where, with like podcasts, I think some of the greatest podcasts are where you feel like you're a fly on the wall of a conversation. And so,
that's a good way to put it.
And so for me, I mean, it depends on your podcast and how you want it to feel, but that's where a lot of them stand. So when it comes to podcast editing, I would say as few cuts as possible, because you want it to feel comfortable. Maybe you want it to feel chill, or you don't want the editing to get in the way of distracting from the conversation. So that's where, but then there's like a scientific YouTube video that's more like I have to kind of show you with a graph or with charts or with an animation. Like for you to understand what I'm talking about, I need to show you somehow. Yeah. And so that's a whole different set of decision making and skills that go into that. And so
the Sean Ryan Show. You ever watch that podcast?
Doesn't ring a bell. No.
Okay, very conservative, usually military guests, veterans, that kind of thing. But it's exactly what you just described because it's this, it looks like a man cave, and they're sitting in these leather chairs. And honestly, there are some podcasts I have to watch. I don't listen to because I feel like I'm sitting in a leather chair just on the outside of the camera view watching these guys talk. And they do such a great job of that. But he's also got big budgets and lots of cameramen.
Oh yeah. And so it's and you can still do that as well. I mean, Riverside, if you haven't ever signed up for Riverside, they have some AI tools that are kind of making me nervous. I mean, I don't have any really podcasting clients, so I'm not too worried about it. My clientele are more like they talking head video. They sit in an office and I've got to put up a bunch of stuff. So it's not a lot of podcasts, but man, what Riverside can do with their AI stuff, or Descript has phenomenal AI tools as well. So there's a lot of AI tools that are already awesome that you can use, and they're getting better. This is the worst they'll ever be. So it's so that can help out with costs as well. But I personally only watch one podcast. And it's an editing podcast. And because they're talking about movies and film and TV shows, I have to watch it to know what they're talking about. So everything else I listen to, but that's, that's me. That's just my preference.
Yeah. Yeah. So what got you into all this? How did you get from whatever you did before to now? Yeah.
So before I was actually building a business as a financial coach. And I decided either I wanted to start a podcast or a YouTube channel, and I've done editing and filmmaking before in high school and college. So I'm like, well, I kind of halfway know what I'm doing when it comes to that type of stuff. So I started a YouTube channel, and then through some friends, they got to see my stuff, and they're like, Dan, you're good at editing. Can you help me with my stuff? Because I don't want to do it anymore. And then that one friend was a paying client, and then that turned to a referral after referral after referral, and I just got deeper and deeper and deeper. And I really was a video editor where I was doing online courses and YouTube channels and TikToks and all sorts of stuff. And eventually I went from video editor to YouTube editor. Like if it's going on YouTube, call me. And if you end up putting it on TikTok too, I don't care. You already paid me, I'm fine. But I can't be an expert in more than one algorithm, or I choose not to be. I'm going to stick to YouTube, and that's it. They're a pretty big player, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. So. Yeah, there's some platforms where I actually try, and then others where I'll just repost, and if it gets something, it's good.
Yep. And once you master one platform and you get some money coming in, then you can hire someone else to be the master of that platform for you.
So financial coaching with the circle that we run in, were you Larry Burkett or Dave Ramsey style?
I guess I was more Dave Ramsey style. That's kind of how I started. But certainly, I grew up where credit cards were debit cards with points. So you always paid them off, and then you got free stuff. And so I'm kind of in that camp, whoever's camp that is.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now, because we're solid Dave Ramsey guys, but I call it Dave Ramsey adjacent now because I pay my credit card off, and I love those Amazon points.
Yeah. I think, and the advice I've heard is like Dave Ramsey is fantastic to get you from negative to zero, but zero and beyond, you can start listening to other people because you've proven you know how to get out of debt and stay out of debt, which is a fantastic skill either way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So before I forget, how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah. So my website is danhinz.video, or you can email me at dan@danhinz.video.
All right. I'll put those in the show notes. And for everybody that's listening or watching, you guys can go ahead and type that into your browser right now and start looking up and, finding what you want to hire him for.
Yeah.
So if you could recommend, I don't know, like your top 3 tips that we all need to change with our YouTube videos, that things that like drive you crazy when you see it, what would that be?
I would say you need to triple the amount of time you spend on research. I don't know what you're doing now, but triple it. Because once you decide, well, there you go. Because it's that funnel. It's that make sure, like if you have a phenomenal idea, like that trumps everything. Because if you have that phenomenal idea that your audience is going to love, and you've seen other people do it and it's been successful, then your ability for success is going to be better. And I guess tied to that, maybe tip number 2 would be to decide who your target audience is and what your value proposition is. Like, who are you helping and what are you helping them with? Because I think, like, I just edited a video for someone as a trial, and she was just like, what I eat in a day as a college student, which is like, all right. But, is her market people trying to be healthier? Is it college students trying to be healthier? Is she just trying to vlog to become famous? That type of stuff. So it really depends. Like, once you pick who you want to help and what you want to help them with, then it becomes easier to find the ideas of what you want to, what you want to talk about and what you don't want to talk about. And I guess then third would be right after that would be the thumbnails and titles. Is study thumbnails and titles. And so that way you can get better and better and better at getting that click. And so basically, because those are the top of the funnel, like everything gets better from there. You could have very little editing or zero editing, but if it's a fantastic idea and you present it well, then you won't need to hire an editor because people are going to want to watch what you're talking about. So if you're helping them save money or to save time, which time is money, then if you make them a promise to say, hey, here are the 10 things I did to make $200,000 in a year, it's like, you don't have to edit that video. You can just talk for 10 minutes doing those 10 things, and people are going to want to know all 10 of them because you're helping them get out of a jam or something like that. So I could go on and on about that, but the 3 tips would be: get to that top of the funnel, research, triple your time, and then double at least the amount of time you're spending learning about thumbnails and titles. Get much better at that. Right away. I love your example of the girl with the food, though, because that's such a clear image that you present in my mind there that I could see going different ways. Because I watched a video one time. It was a college student, and he was making grilled cheese in the dorm, but his whole pitch was to like entrepreneurs in college, like trying to save money, getting by doing what you can so that you save money to start a business. And so he was sitting there. He went from ironing his grilled cheese sandwich with the clothes iron and to ironing his shirt for class because he wanted to look good. Yeah. And so it was still food in the dorm, but it was a totally different point of view. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Well, and he did something a little bit out of the norm, and you remembered it. And being memorable is worth something. So, that's where you could, if you have some favorite YouTube channels you want to watch, like, so you got Mr. Beast that did a whole string of like, $1 plane ticket to $100 million plane ticket, or, stuff like that.
I just watched some of those here recently.
Yeah, like a $1 boat to a $1 billion ship. what the experience is like. And so you've seen other creators like Ryan Trahan, where he's just like, I went on the first class ticket of every major airline. And so that's a video of him just experiencing this stuff. Now, the thing about Ryan Trahan, which is another phenomenal creator to watch, is he's really good at storytelling. And so he follows something called the Harmon Circle, which really helps frame his videos and outline his videos to make them not only fun to watch, but then emotionally satisfying at the end. And so that's pretty cool. I'm getting into the weeds here, but like it's one of those things where
you piqued my curiosity. The Harmon Circle, is that in the Storyworthy book, or is that something different?
It's something different. So have you ever heard of the hero's journey?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking what you described, though, just sounds more like a single space in time, as opposed to hero's journey, which is like a lifelong quest.
Epic. Yeah. So the hero's journey is a storytelling tool where, you can fit Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and basically any movie
Bible
on top of it. The Bible. Yeah, exactly. And so, but the hero's journey has like 12 to 15 steps to it. It's very intricate, which is fantastic for a movie, but you don't have a lot of time in a 10, 15, 20 minute YouTube video to hit all those
Cram
points.
all that in. Wow.
Yeah. So Dan Harmon, who created Rick and Morty, and he wrote.
You got me really interested now.
Yeah, and he wrote for Community, the TV show. He created what he calls the Harmon Circle. So it's like 6 steps. And so it's just a simpler version of the hero's journey where, it's like, I'm a character, I want something, but something happens to me and I can't have that. So I've got to go out into the world and overcome all the obstacles and then find like my guide and find, the magic potion and use that potion. But then that getting what I want and using that magic potion also has consequences, and I have to suffer those consequences and then return home. And that's the basics of the Harmon Circle. And so then you could start to say, okay, well, how do I talk about getting out of debt in a video in that frame? How can I tell a story or make it story worthy, but also educate people at the same time? So that's something to think about.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got my mind going now, because I've been just thinking, we were talking Dave Ramsey earlier, like when he tells his story. Yes. It kind of follows not the hero's journey so much, but more of a Harmon Circle kind of thing. That's pretty cool. Yep. I'm still thinking about that college girl too, because I'm thinking you could do a whole foodie channel just based on what am I doing with ramen today to make it palatable.
Yeah. Right. Well, and kind of using her as an example, and she's a newer creator, so we all have to start somewhere, and we all have to learn. So, but part of it is to say, well, are you trying to eat healthy on the cheap? Like that's a path you could go. It could be like, well, how to eat healthy from the dorm buffet line, that type of stuff. It could be how to or how can you cook on just like a hot plate and learn how to cook, like that could be a thing. There's all sorts of things where you could go in that direction, and niching down on YouTube is also a fantastic idea. As Pat Flynn says, the riches are in the niches. And so, getting hyper specific and kind of finding your audience is always a good thing. Cause if you're trying to be for everyone, you end up being for no one. Even Walmart, it's just like you've got, everyone, no one goes to Walmart for luxury goods. That's just not what they're known for. They can help a lot of people, but they don't help literally everyone. Yeah. Oh yeah. And Pat Flynn's a good example too. He always talks about pop culture a lot, but when he started talking about Pokemon too much, he just spun off and did a Pokemon channel that's just that. And of course it exploded because it's Pat Flynn. Yeah. Yeah, well, and he spent years and years and years knowing how to tell a story. And so, and also he's got his businesses, so then he's got some good cash flow that he can hire some great editors and help with that as well. So, that would be a great case study to see kind of how he built that. And I saw him talk about that channel at Social Media Marketing World 3 years ago. It's fantastic talk. Any behind the scenes stuff of Pat Flynn talking about his YouTube channel is going to be helpful.
Oh yeah, definitely. So that's kind of all the YouTube and editing and everything. What else are you into? That especially like side hustles or just cool hobbies that we want to know about?
Yeah. Well, I guess my only other major thing I'm doing is real estate investing. So that's kind of trying to get deeper into that. My wife and I have 2 properties together, and then me and my business partner, we've got 2 properties, and now we're looking to buy a third. We've kind of got the cash saved up. We've got our market, and we've got our team, and we're investing out of state. So we're trying to figure out. We're making offers on properties right now, trying to get someone to say yes. So,
yeah. So are you doing a niche with real estate, or just certain things that fit your profile?
Long-term investing or long-term rentals. So not short-term, not mid-term, not commercial, not land. There's a great real estate investing teacher, Chad Carson. He usually goes
never heard of him.
He usually goes by Coach Chad or Coach Carson, one of the two. But super nice guy. Used to play for Clemson football.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm like 15 minutes from Clemson.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So you guys will get along real good. And he's got a book called don't ever invite me to trivia. This is why I can't think of random things off the top of my head. But he's got a book that's basically Small But Mighty Real Estate Investor. Okay. Small But Mighty. And because most real estate investing books are like, I have 100 and 200 properties and I'm making millions of dollars. And his book is just like, buy 30, debt snowball, pay them off, and be done. Yeah. And I'm like, I like that. Like, I don't plan to have an empire. It might do that someday. Who knows? But like, I'm just focused on, let's get to 20 or 30 properties, pay them off. And just, that'll be part of my retirement plan.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's a great side hustle or maybe not so much a side hustle, but just a long-term planning, something beyond to kind of carry you through and leave a legacy to your kids and everything too. Cause once you get those paid off, man, that's something to leave behind.
Yeah. And so it's it's the entrepreneur in me where it's just like, I want as many streams of income as possible. So when I've got, 15 clients and 30 investment properties, that's, 45 streams of income. And they're not all going to go away at the same time. Like it's and no matter what the economy does or who the president is, it's still there. You still got something going. Pretty much. That's the goal. So, and then I've got the stuff, I've got my IRAs and stock market stuff too. So I've, diversify. That's good. And I'm starting to buy, like $100 of Bitcoin every month. So I'm dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, and who knows what's going to happen with that, but $100 a month, fortunately in my position, I'm not going to miss it. And if it goes belly up, I'll be like, well, my wife and I've been doing the DCA with Bitcoin for years. And it's been doing good. Yeah, it has. So it's one of those things where I'm not on that train of like, it's going to replace money, but like, if it grows and I can live off a little bit of that cash flow, like that's fine. I'm fine with that. Oh yeah. Dave Ramsey hates crypto, but so I'll say this for the people listening is don't invest in crypto unless it's play money. Yeah. But when you put the play money into it, you can really enjoy watching it go up. Yes, as long as you're not obsessed about it and get really depressed when it goes down, because they got some wild swings in there. So you just gotta. That's why I'm dollar cost averaging. Like I really don't care what happens. I'm just gonna do this for a decade or more and just whatever. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah. So as we get closer to the end here, you've recommended a lot of resources. If you could tie it down to the top 3 resources for just success in life, what would that be for you? Oh gosh, success in life. Well, I think for me right now, number 1 would be Tony Robbins. I have a Tony Robbins coach, and her name is Otilia, and I've been talking with her every week for almost 6 years now. Yeah. And they call themselves results coaches because they're not, trying to help you in any one specific area of life. It's just like, if you have a goal, I'm going to help you get over the mindsets or do the mindset shifts to help you get there. And so that's helped me out a ton. So I think maybe tied to that is also then, mentors, coaching, therapy, talking to people, talking to experts in these expert fields to help you get over what you're getting over. So if you want to get into real estate investing, I love my wife and I will try to explain everything that's going on with business and real estate all day long. She'll just kind of smile and nod because it's not something she's into. We love and trust each other, but she's not a matter expert. So if I'm going to learn more about real estate investing, I'm not going to her. And so so I think that would be kind of number one. All of Tony Robbins, I've listened to almost all of his programs at least 3 times over.
Okay.
I'm going to Date with Destiny here in December, which is his week-long thing. So if anyone wants to dip their toes into Tony Robbins, he's got a documentary on Netflix called I Am Not Your Guru.
That was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what got me into his stuff is I watched that. And then I bought a book, and after I bought the book, I'm like, ooh, I need this course. And that course led me to an event, and that event led me to a coach. And it just, I just keep giving him money.
Kool-Aid, but it tastes good.
Yeah, it's but I feel like I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars to unlock millions. So like the ROI is gonna be there, not right away, but it will be. So.
Oh yeah.
So I think that would be one thing. And so then I guess the second thing would be just reading. Nonfiction, business books, whatever you want to get into. People have taken decades and decades of their life and experience and are giving it to you for like $10.
Yeah.
If you get one nugget of something that changes your life in a $10 book, it's well worth that $10.
Oh, yeah.
Just buy the book, or go to the library or use a Libby app or Audible. There's so many places that you can get cheap knowledge. So that's so that's going to be part of it.
I'm surprised how many times I'll see Tony Robbins books at the thrift stores, and just thinking like, wow, for a quarter I can buy that amount of knowledge right there. And somebody didn't see the value in that and just gave it to the thrift store.
Yeah. Well, and it's also, buy the book, read it, and then donate to the library or give it to the thrift shop as, gonna kind of pay it forward in that regard. There's nothing wrong with that. And then I guess, golly, the third thing. I mean, those are kind of the 2 major things is really just like mentors, reading, and I guess this also comes from Tony Robbins, but like constant and never-ending improvement. That would probably be the third thing, where and one of his stories is always like, when pilots take off from an airport going to another airport, another city, another country, like the wind is pushing the plane around all the time, and so you just have to make those 1-degree shifts every once in a while to make sure that you stay on course. And that's completely normal in life. Is like you've got to plan for the day, and then you get one phone call, and now you got to pivot. And so, and that's okay. That happens to everybody, no matter how good of a planner you think you are. And so it really is just to take time to regularly update your goals and your objectives and what you want out of life, and be like, okay, well, how'd this week go? How do I want next week to go? And what do I want to do, or what resources do I have to go after that? And so I guess it would be just a kind of a mindset of constant and never-ending improvement, but not perfection, improvement.
Yeah.
Progress.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, perfect. Well, not perfection, but perfect.
Yeah.
So if any last pieces of advice or stories or anything you want to just kind of close us out with?
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess what just popped in my head is that when it comes to, especially when it comes to YouTube, is I would say, like, if you want to get really good at YouTube, and maybe it's just like video podcasting, like whatever you want to get into, it would be to study, become a fan and study that style of art. So if you want to get really good at video podcasting, watch a lot of video podcasts and not to like steal their ideas, but if you watch really, really, really good stuff, you build an intuition of what's good and what's not so good. It's like, I don't eat at a lot of fine dining restaurants, but if I had the money to do it, then I would understand like what amazing food tastes like and how it's different than other restaurants, fast food, that type of stuff. And so then that would make me a better chef if I wanted to do that. But when it comes to YouTube editing, I watch some of the biggest channels, not all of them, but it's also I'm listening to a bunch of podcasts about editing and filmmaking and the blood, sweat, and tears that go into it, but also trying to find tips. I'm like, oh, because when I'm editing a video, I'll have an idea. I'm like, oh, I saw that on Welcome to Wrexham on FX the other day. I'm going to steal that idea. Or I'll be watching The Bear on FX and like, ooh, I want to try. If I ever get the chance to try that shot or to try that sequence in my editing, I'm going to. And so, you can kind of steal like an artist and try to get that stuff. Same with video podcasting. It's like once you watch enough of it and you start to have a bar for good and great, and you might not be there yourself or might not have the money or the resources, but at least you understand the gap and can work towards that. So that would be my closing argument, Your Honor.
Yeah. No, some of my favorite video podcasts that I watch are, it's kind of a dream for me is to have a studio someday where I can bring the guests to me. And because Tim Ferriss and School of Greatness and Sean Ryan, they like these $1 billion people are flying to them. I mean, I just imagine the time out of somebody's schedule to just come to you to film something like that. You've made it at that point, if that's what you're looking for.
Well, and there's a local guy who's got an ad agency. He's got a building that he rents out a bunch of rooms, and he turned one into a podcast studio. Yeah. So local people here can just they've got the camera set up, they've got the microphones, they've got the Rodecaster, everything's ready to go. You and your guests just have to walk in the door, sit down, and press record, and you can have a video podcast. So maybe then, is there a space where, and that's a business opportunity as well. If your area doesn't have that, would you be willing to start that? And run something that's cool. Like that. Yeah.
So that ruins it for a lot of people, though, because it lowers the barrier of entry, and a lot of people just want to say they want to do something, but never actually do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the entrepreneurial spirit. Is there's got to be an ROI in that, and I think there's some areas where it's well, you might have a podcast and can record in it, but if no one else does, then that business is going to go out of business real fast. So.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You gotta figure it out for yourself.
Yeah. So, Dan, are there any, do you have a YouTube channel or anything, or do you just work on other people's?
Technically, I do. I posted a bunch of shorts there 2 years ago, but I'm so busy editing other people's stuff, and I get referrals. In fact, there's a website you could check out. It's called ytjobs.com. So that's YouTube Jobs, ytjobs.com, and it's basically Fiverr for YouTube. So wow. I'm on there as a YouTube editor. Yeah, it's not a lot of people know about it, but if you need a YouTube editor, someone who edits video but understands YouTube and edits for other YouTube channels, that you can go there, and I'm on there, and you can look at my profile and see that I currently I just crossed 300 million views on all the videos that I've done. For all of my clients. And so you can see that you can hire people, thumbnail designers, script writers, producers. So if you need a producer, that could be a place to go. But it's Fiverr, but specifically for YouTube.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's a nugget I'm going to check into myself.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, chances are people are watching your work and don't even realize it, but I just like that idea. But the millions of views that you've gotten on stuff, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And so that website helps me track all that. So, knock on wood, that doesn't go away anytime soon. I need to figure out how to back up all the links to all those videos and keep them in a Google Doc somewhere. That's kind of low on my priority list right now.
Oh, yeah. Now, YouTube needs to come out with some kind of a plaque award for the behind the scenes people now, because it's always the creators that get the awards, but there's so many people behind them.
Well, and that's kind of how it goes. It's there's Steven Spielberg and there's Jurassic Park. And do you know who edited Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
I haven't looked
the other guys that nobody knows.
Yeah. I mean, but that's filmmaking. It's always a team effort. It's a team sport. And that's just kind of how it goes. But, a lot of creative people just love to do the creative things because they love to do the creative things. And as long as they're paying their bills and no one's yelling at them, then that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, Dan, thanks for being with us today. And this is pretty cool. I was looking forward to this one because some of these podcasts that I record, I'm interviewing people because I do want to help other people, but sometimes I just want to learn more about other folks.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And YouTube and video, I mean, that's kind of the way of social media right now. And even podcasts, it's just everyone's I need to get my podcast on video and get it onto YouTube. I mean, hire me if you can, but Riverside has got some good stuff. Descript, has some great tools as well for cheaper and or free. And yeah, video is kind of the way things are going. And I would say even with AI, people are just, we just want real, we want authentic, and we want vulnerable content. And, you know, in having these conversations like this is probably going to get more eyeballs than AI ever will in the future, because emotional connection is what we as humans value the most. So if you're out there making those emotional connections and teaching people, it's super valuable, which is wonderful.
Well, tell you what, since you brought it up, we'll definitely close out with this one though. But the AI, YouTube just restricted a lot of the AI stuff, didn't they? I mean, I guess it was almost like a fad that just came in real quick, swept everything, and YouTube finally decided enough.
Yes. It's AI crud or AI chum, so whatever that term is. But yeah, it's basically just people typing in a prompt and just churning out very, very low quality stuff.
Yeah.
And YouTube is just like, look, it's like you didn't, you know, it isn't adding value to the YouTube audience. People aren't enjoying it. It's, you know, it's stopping the world from seeing other creative people and their wonderful stuff. So it's like, hey, like, we're going to pay you some because of the ad revenue, but we want you to make real good original stuff, because there are more people watching YouTube on a connected TV than there are people watching Netflix.
Yeah.
And so people are more and more are sitting down on the couch with a dinner or whatever, and they're turning on YouTube and they're just watching YouTube like it's TV. And that continues to grow. So that's, that's why having an hour-long video podcast for people to just be, you know, in that chair, watching enjoying and hanging out and relaxing, it's valuable, super valuable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks again for being with us, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I could talk about this all day long. So thank you, David. Thank you for the invite, and I hope everyone enjoyed.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they did. I did if nobody else does, but I'm sure they will.